Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video we're going to look at Takom semi-second scale F.5 and Chieftain Mk.5 in semi-second scale. What's up guys, this is Richie, welcome back for another unboxing video. This week, as you can see, we have a nice 2-pack of British armour, Takom semi-second scale F.5 and a Chieftain Mk.5. Now they do both of these models in 35th scale, both really nice too. They do a bunch of different Chieftains versions, and they do a couple of different F.432s as well. So this is semi-second scale, so it's going to be a little bit smaller, might be good for dioramas, that kind of thing. Not opened the box yet, so let's kind of work our way around and look here. Just a couple of different schemes. And you see here, there's quite a lot of stuff in the box. And a little bit of photo etch too, I think. And this side too. I don't see any kind of kit number on here. Actually, I think it's 5008 maybe. That's the kit number. Okay, and then just a bit of box here. Quite a lot of plastic. And we do have a little bit of photo etch. You can see how tiny this guy is. That's a turret of the Chieftain. And here we have quite a big instruction book for the size of the kit. So it's a really nice glossy kind of book. So it's really nice quality. So we can just move this out of the way a little bit so the camera doesn't focus out. So here's the paint colors we got in Mk colors. A little bit of instructions. I'll hold it like this so you can actually see the angle of the camera better. Gets a gloss of the paper. Parts. So here's all the sprues. And I guess we're working on the Chieftain first. It doesn't say, but yeah, it's definitely a Chieftain. So putting the whole together. Work on the wheels. So it looks like the tracks blink and length. Putting the tracks on, which you probably want to do later once you painted it all. Adding the top to the lower hole. The details. As always, nice clear instructions with Takom. Adding a couple more parts on. And see quite a lot of details, again 70-second scale, so a lot of little bits and bobs going on here. Side skirts. And there's the photo etch for the grills. The turret, again you see all the parts going on there, quite a lot of detail. And it looks like one-piece slide molded barrel. And kind of putting it all together. I'm just going through this real quick. As always, you can always pause it if you want to look at it in more detail. And then you move straight on part 25. So this doesn't really distinguish it. So you finish with the Chieftain there. When you start part 25, you start with the F.432. So it's not separated. It kind of runs into one long, which is kind of a little bit unusual. But so you put the whole together. The real one has interior. I'm pretty sure this doesn't being semi-second scale. We'll see as we go through, adding the wheels. Yeah, obviously no interior. It's adding the back door. Tracks again. Same as the Chieftain. And top part. The front. And then top to the lower hole, and side skirts, and more photo etch. So photo etch makes up like the little kind of cage kind of on top around the hatch. And here's some of the schemes. So now we switch it this way. So here's a Chieftain, unknown unit, BAT US 1991. We have another, so it looks like we have, let me just flick through real quick. So we have 3 Chieftain schemes. This one is It's so small to read here. I mean, even with my zoom in here on the camera, I can barely read it. So small text. Iranian Mk.5. So maybe I didn't realize that maybe Iranians had chieftains. This is Iranian markings. Again, this is Iranian too. Another version. Back in May 1983. Both of these. Operation. Sorry, I'm just holding it right to my eyes. It's so small. Beit al Makadat. I'm butchering that, but there you go. But I mean, this text is so tiny. It's probably like 6 fonts or something. Okay, then the 432 we have on the Royal Scots 7th. No year. Sorry to glare at the camera. There you go. We have a nice camo, unknown unit, and another camo, Op 4. And then there's a couple of things. They do a nice Russian tank transporter in 72nd scale too. It's just advertising that, and a 2-on-1 Jack Tiger in 35th. And that is it. Really nice kind of CAD drawings too. So quite a lot going on in there. It's kind of strange how they did it like one kind of straight line instructions that kind of split them up between the two different versions. You know, different parts for each. But nevertheless, I mean, it looks pretty straightforward. Nice instructions as always. So let's go ahead and look at the pieces. So the parts. So looks like we have 1, 2, 3 pieces of photo etch. So we have this really nice kind of side skirts. We have some grills. One thing I know a lot of people complained in the past about focusing on the camera and stuff. I think cause these pieces are so small, I think I'm holding too close to the camera, so I'm holding further away. They're going to be smaller, but I think it's going to focus a lot easier and better. I think that was the problem before. So that's the other, more grills. Slightly different to this one. I think this might be part of the baskets for the Chieftain, and this is probably part for the FV 432. Not even bother opening these, but you got decals, just the obligatory kind of markings. You know, there's barely anything of armor, just a few numbers and stuff. So let's get the plastics. The first one's this tiny little Ziploc bag, and we have the turret for the Chieftain. There you go. Again, palm my hand, you can see kind of how small it is. So there's that guy. Let's kind of open this one next. So there's the really nicely detailed the Chieftain, the upper half, and then these 3 bits will make up the lower hull. Nicely detailed, and again, if you kind of throw that on top, it gives you an idea of the size. Again, my hand is, you can kind of see against how big that's going to be. Really nice. As always with Takom, it's really nicely crisply molded. One thing I do watch for Takom though is they used to have really big attachment points. They got a little bit better now, but some of the older kits when they first came out a few years ago were really kind of tough. So much cleanup was required because these were so big, the attachments. But these are okay, not tiny, but I mean they're not as bad as they used to be. So I'm looking around this one. You got the wheels, and looks like a bunch of this is tracks, and some track links. Match pair, so you got obviously one for each side. I'm guessing that is, well, this is probably for it too. So you've got those two, and then this sprue I think is for the same one. Yeah, so this is your basket kind of on the side of the turret. And some more pieces. I think this is a jig to help with your, this is probably a jig to help with the track. I know Takom with on the barrel, one piece barrel, very nice. Just going around the sprue, small parts, really nicely detailed. If you can kind of see that one too, see the detail on there. There's the back. So that I'm assuming is all for your Chieftain. And these 2 packs are going to be for your armor personnel carrier. I apologise for all the crinkling. There it is. Okay, not many pieces for this one at all. So you got the 2 sides. Here's the top. Again, really nicely detailed. Once you got to wash and stuff, pick all those pieces out. It's going to look really good. On the back and the underneath. I think another track jig. I think this is to help you with, on the top of this it has that kind of like cage kind of thing. I think this is to help you kind of mold in with the photo etch, get that kind of right shape, which is going to be a lot tricky to do, I imagine. Just looking back at the photo etch, it's yeah, it looks like it's individual parts too, so it's not like one piece you can fold around it. I think there's some gluing involved and stuff, so that's going to be a little tricky in this scale. But still really nicely detailed. You can kind of see that in the camera too, in the light. And again, size-wise, gets in my palm of my hand, you can see the size, it's tiny. And finally, match pair, so we'll just look at one of these. Tracks, super tiny as well. Link and link. These attachment points are really going to be tough to clean up on these guys. See, tiny little track links. And then these are attachment points, so this is going to be a lot of cleanup on these guys. The wheels, again, really nicely detailed. Some of the details on these are actually better than some 35th scale kits. And tiny little pieces here like antennas and grab handles and various stuff here. But there's 2 of those, and that is it. I mean, so this is not very expensive at all. I think it's like $25, $30. You get 2 72nd scale kits, and yeah, it looks really nice, really nicely molded. It's tiny, but it's not going to take much space up. So I know a problem nowadays, people, especially with aircraft side, I think it takes a lot of space up. Armor can take a lot of space up too. So with this kind of stuff, 72nd scale, especially have two pieces, you can probably make a nice little dial. You can definitely get 72nd scale figures, although it'd be a little tricky to paint. You could do a nice little kind of dial, I think, for these things. You can again do these in 35th scale if you prefer. 35th scale, it's going to be like this big compared to the palm of my hand. But yeah, it looks really nice. So if you're a fan of the British Armour, this might be one for you. Again, this is Takom's FV432 Mark 2.1 and a Chieftain Mk.5 dual pack. So yep, hope you enjoyed that one. As always, this is Richie from RW Hobbies, and I'll catch you next time. So thank you and goodbye.